So if you would have asked me a couple weeks ago if during World War II the Nazis were in North America, I would have said no. I know the U-boats came close. I know they dropped a couple spies, tried to get some espionage going, but Nazis, North America, no. That was happening over in Europe. So imagine my surprise when a couple weeks ago I'm at the Canadian War Museum. I'm down the Le Breton Gallery where they have all the physical stuff like the tanks and the guns. And there's this giant canister on the floor. It's big. It's like metal, round, maybe the size of a pylon, but round. And there's this little description beside it that said, this is from Operation Kurt, the weather station that the Nazis installed in Labrador in 1943. And I was like, what? I had no idea the Nazis actually were here, physically here, via U-boat. They came over. So 1943, Labrador and Newfoundland are not part of Canada yet. So they didn't actually officially have an operation in Canada, part of the world that later became Canada, and they set up this weather station, and it was really sophisticated at the time. Apparently we weren't putting things like that out until the 1960s, and it transmitted for a bit. It was defunct after a month. There's a whole mystery at the end of the story because we didn't know about it officially until 1977. Now, we may have known about it, but no historian's ever been able to find a record of our military intelligence knowing about this weather station that the Germans set up in Labrador in 1943. Weather was a really hot topic for the Nazis because the way the weather flows, the Allies had a huge advantage in knowing the weather because it kind of goes west to east generally in the Northern Hemisphere, North Atlantic. So, and even when I read documents about the, Nazis were asking their spies when they had like spies in England, all this stuff, they were always looking for weather. It was like a really big issue. So they had this U-boat operation. It takes a month, leaves Germany, sails through the Atlantic, avoids all this stuff, almost sinks, but doesn't. Gets to Labrador, sets up this weather station, and we don't find it until 1977. The historian doesn't get there till 1981, working with this German historian who had all these records. Between 1977 and 1981, the whole thing kind of gets dismantled and cut apart, but the pieces are still there. It's a really, really, really cool story. If you go back and read about it, I highly suggest the article that I will put in the comments that I found on the Wayback Machine because it's the original article written by the original historian, but it just blew my mind. Nazis, U-boat, Labrador, weather station, 1943. Pretty incredible. If you have any questions or comments or you know more about this story, I'd love to hear it. Otherwise, hope everyone's doing great.